Is Jamar Chase the best receiver in the NFL?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This year.
Yep. Yeah. He passed Jay Jettis for me. It hurts my soul. But
Are the Seahawks thinking a 10-win season is good enough for playoffs?
are Chiefs going to the Super Bowl for you, Dan? Then just curious. Real quick.
Hot take.
Real quick.
Man,
hot take.
it's-
Did they not, or is this just eventually? Is he going to be traded away anyway this offseason?
Could have been.
This is a diva being a diva.
You think so?
Oh,
Yes.
Get laced up.
Let's go.
It's time for Banter with the boys.
Yo, welcome back to Banter with the Boys. I guess this is technically Week 18 recap. Kind of, but we're more excited about Wild Card Week, of course.
That's all that matters.
I'm just like, honestly, we're like, it's just taking so long to get here. Like, I'm just so excited for playoffs. I could just, you know what I mean? I could just like, you know what I mean?
I didn't know you were that good.
Just so excited. Skull Vikes got the L, but Matt, welcome back.
Dude, I am so happy to be back. It's probably been, 15 weeks? Months. Probably week
Months.
like
2,
14,
week 3.
13 wins ago.
It was early.
Early predictions. We'll see kind of how they panned out.
For sure. Fair enough. And of course, Dan to the left. Welcome back again.
Yeah,
Ladies,
it is
yep.
awesome. It's been a long 2 weeks, and it's good to be back.
Yeah, for sure. I was happy that we could get you and Matt on the same show.
Absolutely. We got the whole Kennedy coaching staff here, baby.
Half of them. Shoot.
Half,
we could
yeah.
probably
We
do,
could probably
one
do
with
a whole
everybody.
one, yeah.
Hey, you got position open? I'm in.
Yeah, get Rob in
Making
there.
the full team here.
Get Rob in there. And then, of course, speaking of Rob,
Speaking.
he's here too.
What do you mean here too? I'm ready for this. This is the best part, and playoffs is the best part. It's January, new season. Get through this. Get to the Super Bowl, baby.
This is what we've been waiting for, man.
I know.
This is
Right.
like this is what the build-up's to.
And half of our state is ready to give up, but we'll get into that. Don't worry. Don't worry. We'll get into that.
We're
And
gonna
of
sell
course-
our coaches.
Trade them. Trade them. KOC's on the trading block.
Yeah.
And then, of course, don't forget Kev behind the scenes here, getting everything done for us. Freshly back from his vacation, so
He's super tan right now.
he's tanner than he was when he left.
That's Kevin?
Yeah,
That is Kev. Yeah, that's Kev.
Oh my God.
Yeah, fresh from Mexico.
All right.
He's smiling, so I can see him.
All right. Wow, unbelievable. Anyway, with that, Kev, let's move into our Week 18 game recaps.
Where are you going with that?
And we're back. We're back. Of course, we might as well first off, with these game recaps, we're not going to get too crazy with them. We'll talk about the Vikes. That's fine. Of course, we're going to do that. All four of us are Vikes fans up here. We'll definitely touch on Bears Packers, but really everything else, we'll definitely mention and talk through it. But I think we're all just more excited to talk about these playoff matchups coming up this week. But
Yes, sir.
obviously, we do got to rip the Band-Aid off real quick, right? Vikes getting the L, 31-9 in Detroit.
Competitive L.
No.
No.
Well, yes, actually, yes.
Yes,
it
and
is a
no.
competitive L. And so, I don't know. I don't want to steal nobody's thunder. Anybody else want to go? I got a whole thing, but.
Well, go. Let's go. Let's hear it.
Okay,
Let's
so
hear it.
my thing is the Vikings lost. I mean, I'm not mad. Like, I'm disappointed for sure. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Right?
Agreed,
That's usually
agreed.
worse.
Yeah.
That's usually worse.
Yeah,
But,
it is.
but you can't go 0-4 in the red zone. You can't go 3 for 14 on 3rd and 4th down combined or whatever the heck it was. Like, that's just unacceptable. And you won the turnover battle. I mean, they had every opportunity to take advantage of the game early in the game.
They
too,
did.
And they just didn't. So that's why I'm also not like I'm disappointed, but I'm not like the season's not over.
So who do you blame?
The offense completely.
The play calling, KOC,
It
Sam
could
Darnold,
be
Aaron Jones.
It could be a mix of play calling and Sam Darnold, only because I know it's Jay Jettas, but why you're going to target him 3 times in a row from an end goal situation? Dude, that's so sorry for me.
I mean, but
Like you're just trying to force feed.
But he was
one
two
of the
of
best.
the 3 he was open.
why wouldn't you?
2 of the 3 times he was open.
What? Correct. Which the sail in the corner?
Yeah.
There's no touch on that.
That's
that's
Sam's
on
fault.
that's on
That's
Samuel.
Sam. Yes,
You know.
Samuel. Is
Sam.
that when he's naughty?
I was getting
Samuel,
yeah,
yeah,
correct.
like his
That's when
parents
he's
call
naughty.
him.
Middle
I was
name.
getting angry with Will Reichard. His name is William. This past Sunday too. I was getting very frustrated with our players. I get called the full names in my household. But anyway, yeah. Oh God.
You know, as
And
much
then Aaron
as
Jones in and out of the game. He must have been hurting or
banged
something.
up. He's getting
So, but even so, Cam Akers' big run. We settled for a field goal
Yeah, that
on
was
that drive, didn't we? Or we didn't even get it. I can't remember on that.
No, we went 4 on 4th. But
And
the
they
weird
did
play on that just particular play, when a guy runs for 50, 55, do you give him the ball right away after he's gassed?
Hell yeah. And they did. And he
They
only got
did.
like a yard.
Keep the momentum
I get
going.
it.
Give him his shot to
Is that
finish.
momentum though? I've never understood that.
I mean,
After a
these-
long run, like you're gassed. You can
Well, for
tell
sure.
he
And
was
as soon as he
gassed.
got back up, he was gassed. You could visibly
And then
see
the
it.
next play they took him out.
But
I think it's more of a momentum for the offensive line rather than the running back at that point.
So you're just like hoping the offensive line, even if the running back's tired,
Blocks.
can kind of like will him into
Blocks great like
Sure,
they did the
sure.
previous
On a 10-play drive, I'd
Yeah.
give you that, but not a 3-play drive.
Yeah.
You don't have the Momo of the offense line just punishing him at that point.
I agree.
adrenaline is a hell of a drug. I mean,
it is.
and so you're firing all cylinders. You break off a 50-yard run. You telling me you can't give me another push?
Well, I think that's where your play action
to
comes in.
change the-
They make
to
millions of
change the
dollars.
Momo
They
of the game?
can't be gassed after that. You got to give them at least one more shot.
which they did, and we saw it didn't work.
And then there you go.
So fair enough. So yes, to answer, I still would have done it. I still would have.
I think that's a good play action spot. I agree with the
Which is a
Momo
good
part is on
option.
your side.
Correct.
You go
A
and go
play
fast.
action or an RPO is a good option right
Yeah.
there too. You know, I don't think Sam Darnold can throw an RPO, so like play action or hand it
Fair.
off for Sam.
We didn't see
I don't know.
too many
I'm not-
RPOs
yeah.
out of him this year, bubble screens. But yeah, Sam just came out nervous and hot.
Yeah.
he
The
hit
whole
a lot of
offense
high
had
balls. I mean, that Hawkinson on that third down play when he was
That's
high
another-
on it,
that's another
that was like
miss.
his 5th.
That's another miss, but like we can't. Like what the Lions did was also insane, right? They were taking advantage of everything in the second half anyway. And if Gibbs gets anything, if he gets outside at all, I mean, and turns it on, he's a hard guy to.
He
catch.
did what he does. He's been doing all year. I thought they kept him pretty contained most of the game though. They had the 2 long runs for the touchdown, but in general, I think what he averaged before that.
Not very much.
I say the fourth quarter that average went up a little bit.
I think those 2 runs came after our defense wasn't expecting it, and they were on their heels.
Cam
and
Bynum
gassed.
took 2 horrible angles on both of them.
But I still can't blame our defense that much because when
No,
you're,
I
they're
thought
on
our
the
defense
field
played
lights
just
out
fine.
in the first half, and the offense can't answer.
Yeah.
Eventually, that's just gonna you're gonna get worn down.
I want to say, as much as we shot ourselves in the foot, I really want to give credit to Alex Anzalone. I really like Chris Collins.
Yes,
I
good
really
call,
like-
Daniel, on that.
I don't like Chris Collinsworth, but he said
Oh,
it
he's
perfectly.
horrible.
He brings a mentality, and he leads the team on defense, Alex Anzalone, and he plays like a dog.
Well, he still had stitches in his forearm.
Yeah.
and he
And-
went out there and had
like
like
a
5
metal-
QB pressures. And I mean, he just got
And
out
you
of
saw it.
surgery.
He had everybody on that defense was on one ship. I mean,
He shut down Hawkinson, really.
he did.
You know,
Yeah, he did great.
Well, shut down. What's his name?
or held.
Robertson or whatever shut down JJ half the
Yeah.
game. He did
Yeah,
play
he
well.
did great.
He did play well.
I will give Robertson some.
There's a
credit.
couple that were questionable, right? But he
Yeah.
played physical. He played well.
That's how. Often, if I was ever defense coordinator, that's my style defense. Handsy, make the refs make a couple calls.
Yeah.
Well, and in that game, you got to be aggressive, see what you
Yep.
can get, and like let them. At that point, you let them play. So if they're going to get handsy in the red zone, they're going to get handsy on a jump ball. Let it happen. Don't throw the flag. See how it goes.
Right.
For sure.
I think going back to the credit of what Detroit had done, their defense was on point.
They played
I mean,
great.
they played
well.
played a lot of zero man.
Lost
whatnot.
another big guy though.
And playing zero man, I mean that's
It's
putting
ballsy.
your
It's
yeah, that's
ballsy.
putting them out on the table, man.
And I think
And they played it well.
What I heard earlier in the week that it was like Sam Darnold will pick them apart. I think Dan Campbell said it. He's like, Sam Darnold's going to pick us apart if we give him time in the pocket. So what we're going to do is take the gamble and come at him.
Yeah, it was Aaron Glenn that said that, the defense coordinator. But it makes perfect sense
Yeah,
exactly where you're
come
going
at-
with this.
Come at him.
And Aaron Glenn's sitting on the bench, like
Dude, crossed legs, armed.
Like as much as I was
so much.
disappointed about the Vikings game, I was like, "That's a G move."
I was so mad.
He earned it.
That's kind of funny. Like that, it was annoying to me
Nope.
as a fan.
I almost
right?
threw
But
my
was
beer,
oh
like,
my
at my
God,
TV
This
because
dude's
of
just
that.
chilling.
No.
They're a tough team.
Unbelievable.
Their offensive line is elite.
They're,
I mean,
they're number one seed for a reason.
Yep. So,
We gotta
but
give
I'm
it
not
to 'em.
scared of them. I'm ready for them. 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll play him again. I'm fine.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm playing.
Ooh,
Yeah, Dan's a little
are you
nervous
tipping
now.
your hat over
I'm
here?
just not. Don't call me a non-believer, but if we played like we played, I'm sorry. It's
No, correct.
we
gotta
can
take-
take
they'll fix
any
it.
scenario.
We gotta
out of
take
our head
advantage.
about us
We gotta
being
take
fixed.
advantage.
No. I hope we do.
We needed a game like this, and I'm glad it happened now rather than. Don't get me wrong, I'd rather have the 1 seed and home field advantage, a bye week, all the
Pluses.
amenities.
But do it in week 18 and not in the playoffs.
All inclusive.
All the amenities.
All the
Do
bells
them in
and
week
whistles.
18 and don't do it in playoffs.
That's the hope, right?
Fair story.
So,
and I think, you know what? I think we play as better as a team as the underdog.
100%.
I would
You
agree
know,
with
like
that.
all year, no one's really believed in us. So,
No, I would agree with
like
that.
right now, I don't know what Vegas is at 1.
I just don't like us playing in prime time. I don't.
Well, all
think we've
playoff games are prime
ever-
time.
I understand that. I mean, the last playoff game we had was against the Giants. That was at 3:30. I prefer that because when we're in prime time, our offense is scared. I mean, they
Well,
looked
they're
like
gonna have to
they
show
were
up next week.
jittery. And
In LA in
we
prime
were
time,
at least
though.
able to score points against the
That's like
Giants.
Monday night
but
all by themselves, right?
We had the 30-second defense.
Are they Monday night all by themselves?
Yeah, Monday night all by
Monday
yourself. That's what everybody's gonna be watching. So
The Vegas line is
Yeah.
-1.5.
I don't like that.
Vikings.
Wow.
See?
interesting. Okay,
So
No
at home
respect.
in LA. So
I like it.
next game, Bears getting the win over the Green Bay Packers, 24-22, and Bears fans are ecstatic. I mean,
I don't know why.
No Jordan Love, no Jacobs. Christian Watson went down with the ACL. Sad face. Should not have been playing.
Your guy.
My boy. Just come on. Get out of here.
I've been saying this so long.
You know what I
Kevin
mean?
knows what I mean when I say that.
Just get out of here. Just get out of here. But anyway, Bears still getting the win, though, ending the season on a high note, 24-22.
it's their Super Bowl, basically.
Pretty much.
Hey, Caleb Williams was pretty pumped walking back to the locker room. But I mean, hey, you got the win.
Ended
You're
the
ending,
streak.
you're ending the season with a win. That's always got to feel good.
Yeah.
And to be honest, the direction of the Bears is trending up. I mean, there's still a somewhat decent defense there. You know, if they can put it together.
I mean, if you go into the offseason winning, that's definitely a lot of momentum, and that's good juju for sure. But here's the thing. There's been so many games where they've only had 40 to a minute to work with to get them down to a field goal to maybe tie or win the game. And it's been clock management. It's been the issue.
Yep.
Taking a
games.
sack. Special
likes
teams
taking the
block
sack.
field goals. And they got it done this time, you know?
Yeah.
Caleb proved that he, got it done. The special teams was able to hit all their blocks, and they got that kickoff. So they're thinking to themselves, if we could do this next season, the whole page would have flipped this season for them. They could have easily been.
And they
8,
had-
They could have been
9,
8.
and 8.
I agree with that.
They had some close games.
They definitely did.
All their games were close. They only had a 3-point loss to us, 1-point loss to the Packers.
Yep. There you
All
go.
their
And the game
losses were
the game to
super
us, they were down by
3-point loss to
17
the
with 3
Commanders.
minutes left.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, we just let them back in. But I mean, and that's the thing. They played in a division with 3 11+ win teams.
True.
So
True.
They had
do
to.
about that?
They had to play
Yeah.
us.
Right.
6
That's
L's
a
right
good
there.
point.
That's tough.
I mean, they also did us a favor, right? Now the Packers are going to have to line up against the Eagles and see what kind of goes on for next
That'd
week.
be awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
They were going to have if they would have won the game, it would have been a different seed.
Yeah.
So,
Very true.
That's an interesting game. Oh,
that's ahead.
We'll get there.
Keep
We'll get
moving.
there.
We're getting there.
Yep. I'm excited about it. Yeah. Anyway, Bears getting the win, 24-22. First time in a while that they beat the Packers. It was a long while.
6 years, I think.
Is it? Is that what it was? I knew it was a
2018.
long while.
The
so-
number one rivalry
So
in
that
football.
is probably why they're so excited to get that over with and look into next season now. But third game. We had the Bengals at the Steelers. Bengals trying to keep their playoff hopes alive, which they did with that win. Which this was on Friday night or Thursday night. I can't remember.
This
was
was
before.
Saturday.
Saturday.
It was a
Saturday.
Yeah, they had
Saturday,
the whole
okay.
AFC North go Saturday, which was odd, but whatever.
Yeah, so Bengals trying to keep their hopes alive, get the dub. I mean, the way they ended the season, what do the Bengals now have to do to start the season a little bit quicker next year? And
That
solidify
defense.
or even win the division next
solidify their running game.
year. Running game.
Yeah. Not have your starting quarterback with a calf injury going into the beginning of the
and
season.
That's
going to be a big difference, right? And it took him a few games to kind of get going.
Oh, for
You know,
sure.
he wasn't great out of the gate either
No.
once he came back.
But they're also a team that nobody would want to play if they made the playoffs right now.
No,
Yeah.
no,
No,
no.
100%. Nobody wanted to play.
They're
them.
like the team that didn't make the playoffs, Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Right.
I like what you said because as soon as they got rid of Joe Mixon, that's so
Yep.
much weight being put on Joe Burrow's shoulders.
correct.
And, Joe Burrow's he's still top 5, don't get me wrong, but he's not that mobile quarterback to where if things go weary, he can make a guy miss like Mahomes, Hurts, Josh Allen. So they put a lot of weight on his shoulders, and it kind of showed. And he picked it up. I mean, he played at a
Well, he had to
MVP
because the defense
caliber.
stopped nobody.
The defense was terrible.
And that's
And
the other
rightfully
thing they got to
so.
probably fix too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Without a doubt.
Well, and I think they're what's his name, Hendrickson.
Led the league in sacks.
I think isn't he due for a contract right now, or did he resign? I can't
They're
remember.
going to be in a money hurt.
It's going to be close.
And then
It's really
what do they
close.
do with T. Higgins next year? Because they franchised him this year.
You
So
can't do
can't
anything
he's
keep
got to
with
be
him.
gone.
He's gonna be
so-
a free
ride.
agent.
He'll be a wide receiver 1 on one of these teams.
Exactly.
Yeah, you
so
can't do anything
That
with him.
Bengals offense is even a little different without him there.
Yeah.
And
'Cause he played hot the last 3-4 weeks.
Is Jamar
yes.
Chase the best receiver in the NFL?
He is.
Yeah.
Yes.
This year.
Yep. He passed Jay Jettis for me. It hurts my soul, but he did. JJ's 2 though.
Which is fine. But in the same aspect, you look at it like, when does it break down to one person is one all the time? Right?
Doesn't.
So, I mean, especially with that close,
Other than when
with
Larry
that close of a
Fitzgerald was
matchup, it's
playing.
going to be JJ last year. It's going to, and then JJ had a great season anyway.
Or
right?
Mike
Oh
Evans.
yeah, he still
So,
did. He was the
yeah.
the third. JJ's like because he had 1,500 yards or whatever.
Tied
He's
for
up there
third or
with like
something,
2
yeah.
other receivers, like Jerry Rice and somebody
Sure.
else, whatever.
And so, yes,
Can't
this year
remember.
Jamar Chase was 1, but that's not forever.
No, for sure.
And
No, I hear you.
My,
But he had a
my
great
homer's
se- he
going
had
to come
great
out a little
season.
bit, and JJ's going to go back to number 1, and he's going to put up some
He did
big
win the
numbers.
Triple Crown.
Correct.
He had a great season.
Congratulations.
But I think the Bengals
Watching
make
the playoff at home?
I think the Bengals make the playoffs next year.
If
think
they can
so?
fix
I think-
it,
I
they can
think
fix
I mean,
the
that's what he
defense.
said this year.
I think this is I know because I thought so too. And they almost
I
did.
did too.
So
It
that gives
really
you-
depends on who they bring in
almost
as
doesn't
defensive
count.
coordinator.
Well, and it depends on their division too. I mean, they play in a really tough
They
division
do.
right
they do.
now.
You're definitely right about that.
The HBO matchup,
The Browns,
AFC
who knows?
North.
But, yeah, but I mean, it's who knows? Who knows? But anyway, yeah, Bengals getting the win, 19-17, keeping their playoff hopes alive, which were squashed by the Broncos. But
But by the
Broncos winning, yeah, they were
Playing the
playing the Chiefs.
Division 3 Chiefs.
I thought you were talking about last week. I was like, no, they played the Steelers. But then the Steelers are in the playoffs, though.
Yeah, yeah, Steelers are playing. Yeah,
So they take the L to the Bengals, and then the Steelers still get to go off and
Yeah.
have their hopes alive.
The Steelers were trying.
And they're okay. I mean, Tomlin's done a great job with the Steelers. You can't.
he has, and I guess there's rumors of him now being potentially trade
Shopped.
bait.
no
yeah,
one's
shocker.
trade baiting a coach is dumb.
It's weird. It's
I
weird
think
to
that's
hear,
the
but
internet.
like
Is that really
between-
just the
between-
internet or someone trying to get a take?
I
that
heard it on
goes
ES,
viral.
I heard it on ESPN today, which is
Well,
crazy.
you got to make stories somehow. Pull them out of your.
about KOC. Like what?
I mean, what if this does happen someday? Like,
will.
what if some team
It will.
puts just a stupid amount of money on
Bears-
the table?
Bears said they're
and
willing to
say,
trade for a
Here's
head
all
coach."
this money. Here's the keys to the city. Come coach this organization. I think somebody does it someday.
Tomlin can't though because he's
Someday.
one of 3 coaches in the last 50 years. or
I
something
agree.
with the Steelers.
Tomlin would be tough, but KOC,
He ain't going.
I'd trade him.
anywhere. No. Nope.
Viking fans are gonna hate him in 2 years, anyways. So we might as well get something
No,
for
the
him.
quarterback.
Because right now the Vikings fans hate everybody. So
No, not
I
all.
don't
Vikings.
think that
not
game
all,
falls
but
on
there's a
KOC's
few of you.
shoulders.
I've seen you on the internet.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see. Seahawks at Rams. I don't really want to talk about this game. I mean, Seahawks getting the win, 30-25, but it really didn't end up mattering too much.
Well, it did to Gino.
thought
Well,
Garoppolo-
to Gino, I guess.
Actually.
I guess career high.
You have to talk about Gino's
no,
feelings here.
no, you don't. You guys didn't see the $6 million he made from incentives.
from the
They
Did
said-
he?
Oh yeah,
Really?
$6 million.
Because what? He hit
No,
what
how do
number
you-
did he
how
hit?
do you
What-
think the
Wins,
Seahawks feel about
passing, and there was a third category incentive.
Might
he
have
did.
been
Well,
yards.
at least they
How do
didn't.
you-
They didn't Cooper rush Geno Smith.
So
They
when you
sat
make
Cooper
those
Rush so he couldn't get.
incentives before the season, are the Seahawks thinking a 10-win season is good enough for playoffs?
I think
So
so.
he's
Yeah,
I think
getting-
typically you
absolutely.
would think so.
Yeah, but the
100%.
NFC is just so loaded this year.
Yeah.
So
Correct.
he gets 10 wins, no playoffs, and here's still $2 million.
$6
Heck
million.
yeah, you
Sick,
still,
I
you
guess.
still, you
You
still,
gotta pay
you
him.
still did what you wanted, what the
We
contract
asked him to
said.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
for
you're
sure.
100% right.
But it is a weird.
That's
feeling.
probably leaves a sour taste
Right.
in the Seahawks owners' mouths.
You think so?
That's just me.
I-
Oh yeah.
Well, that's why Jerry Jones sat Cooper Rush, so he couldn't make $500,000.
That's
But I
messed
think
up.
Gino has done a good enough job for them after Russell left, where they're like, "Hey, dude, we got to at least honor you. Like, thanks for what you've done."
Yes.
You think he's there next year? Or do they get a quarterback?
I think he's got one more year left, right?
Yeah, but this would be the year to draft a quarterback if he were.
Absolutely
Then yes,
not.
they draft one.
No,
No.
you don't go.
If I'm a
late
quarterback
first
needy
round?
team, I'm not drafting a quarterback this year at all.
No, not
And
this.
we could-
You
and we
can't
could-
draft not out of this
That's a-
draft
that's
class.
next-
And we could get into
Yeah,
that
yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm not. I am throwing everything I can at the Vikings to try to steal JJ McCarthy off of them. Is what I'm doing. Ooh. That's what I'm doing.
You're trading JJ now?
And
no, I don't want to. As a Viking fan, no. Okay. I'm saying if I'm another team, I'm throwing everything I can to try to get him away from the Vikings.
And they've talked. Seattle's was the thoughts that might be the one to
JJ?
do it.
Really? Mm-hmm. I would hate that.
Anywho, yeah.
Anyway, don't get me started. All right. Let's see. Chiefs Broncos, again, nothing really to talk about here other than the fact that the Broncos controlled their own destiny and they did it. 38-0 over the Chiefs.
They made the playoffs over that win. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and they looked like they wanted it. Like truly, right? And for how the Broncos have been great, but at the beginning of the year you wouldn't have said that the Broncos are going to be in contention for the playoffs, right?
No. Well,
correct.
No, correct.
Because you had Bo Nix at quarterback. You didn't know what he was going to be. Yep. And yes, he still has some rookie tendencies.
Sean Payton and Russell Wilson last year was at each other. I'm like,
and
dude,
I was
Sean
just about
Payton
to say
there's
a bad name for the Broncos. Yeah. Everybody was saying, who was ever playing for the Broncos next season?
But you saw fire, you saw want, and you want that on every team. There's a lot
of fire in Denver right now.
So
I think they play with a chip on their shoulder, and Sean Payton's still a good coach.
Yeah, playing a fourth place schedule really helps too.
Yeah, true.
I mean, yes.
I just thought it was
awesome. Ideal for a rookie quarterback to get experience.
And I'm gonna give Bo Nix his due. He did well.
Chiefs fans just sat there and watched their team get slaughtered. It was awesome.
I mean, they don't care, but B probably knew that was coming. I mean, dang well they're not starting anybody.
It's like the spoiled kid got what he deserved finally,
Wow.
The Chiefs fans?
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
This is what you should be, Kansas City. This is what you were.
Yes.
All right. So just real quick, because we're going to talk about playoffs later, but are Chiefs going to the Super Bowl for you, Dan, then? Just curious. Real quick.
Hot take.
Real quick hot take. 3 in a row?
It's so hard because the two teams
this is turning not to be a hot take.
Sorry. Yes.
No, go on.
It was a take without the take.
What were you going to say?
The two teams that I could see beating them are Buffalo and Ravens. And, when it comes to every offseason or postseason, they can't figure them out. They just can't.
Can an NFC team win the Super Bowl this year? Or do you think it's...
Yeah, I do.
Well, other than the Vikings, obviously. We all think they can, but...
I do.
Will.
Sorry.
Could be us, could be the Lions, could be the Eagles. I think we have the tools to take down the Chiefs for sure.
For sure. All right.
The Chiefs have been a shell of themselves all season, so
they really have. They're really reminiscent of the.
I think they're sandbagging.
Is it the 2022 Vikings or 2018? I think 2022. Yeah, with Kirk Cousins.
They're a garbage 14.
It's the same thing.
Yeah,
it's the same vibe to me. But anyway, all right. With that, Kev, let's head into our tent talk.
911, what's your emergency?
And to start us off with news, horns up. Let's see. Injuries, of course. David Montgomery, or Knuckles, as he's known to the Lions fans, is set to be back for the Lions after their first round bye. So,
wow.
That's great for the rest of the NFC. After seeing Gibbs single-handedly destroy the Vikings, so just add more fuel to that fire. Lions DB Terry Arnold, he went down during the game. He ended up getting an X-ray that was negative, so he is listed as day-to-day for a team that cannot lose any more DBs right now.
That looked bad.
Christian Watson torn ACL, most likely. I didn't see if that was confirmed today, but it's most likely.
He's out for season.
Yeah, I mean, well.
Packers are out,
but he's like
a year too, so.
All right, we'll get to that. Jalen Hurts still in concussion protocol at the moment, so that's something to take note of in a minute here when we talk about playoffs. Bucs safety Jordan Whitehead was placed on the non-football injury list due to a bad car accident en route to practice. I didn't see what exactly happened, but he had injuries sustained from the car accident, so he is on the non-football injury list.
I hope he's
Get better, Jordan.
That sucks.
Rams running back Blake Corum to IR, something with his forearm.
Gave him the old forearm shiver.
The old forearm. Steelers might get a tackle back. Calvin Anderson, his practice window is open, so Steelers fans maybe getting a little extra protection heading into the playoffs. A little bit of news here, nothing too wild, but a couple records. Aaron Rodgers becomes the 5th player in NFL history to reach 500 touchdowns. The other 5, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, and the other 4, sorry. Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, and Brett Favre.
Pretty solid list there.
And unfortunately 2 Packers on that list.
Yeah, but
in a row.
you got to give it to him.
Oh
All
yeah,
the
for
career.
sure. Do you think he's back next year, or do you think he hangs it up? Because he said like he's gonna make a decision.
I think he holds it over our head all the way up until like training, like right before.
He said he's not going to do that.
Like, yeah.
He said he's not going to do that or go on a darkness retreat to figure it out.
Depends on the
He's
coach.
done
And he's
plenty
end up
of
doing
those.
both. Watch.
I think it depends on who
Ayahuasca.
the Jets.
Sign as quarterback
Yeah,
or coach.
who they sign as a coach.
I don't think he's in New York at all next year.
And I think that's going to determine on where he goes following it. And watch the Jets get Rex Ryan back.
Dude, he interviewed.
I know.
He did interview
him and his
there.
Mark Sanchez tattoo he has.
He says he's the man for the job too.
Dude, there's a
Loved it.
couple interesting interviews for the
Ryan?
Jets.
Yeah?
Actually, yeah, dude. He interviewed with the Jets.
He was out there banging his chest, going, "I am the man."
2 days. Kev just pulled some out. It says 2 days until Aaron Rodgers retired.
What happens?
Let's see. Mike Evans hits 11 straight 1,000-yard seasons,
Awesome.
tying the great Jerry Rice.
That a boy,
Yep.
Mike.
That's pretty BA. He got up and was pretty pumped about that,
Yeah,
as
that
one
was-
should be.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
And the team was amped
honestly.
for him, which is kind of
Yes.
fun to see. So,
I thought that was the
Show
greatest part about
some
it.
teamwork and
That's availability. 11 years in a row.
oh yeah,
Yes.
right, exactly. And he's
Yeah.
always like low key under the radar. He's never like the top receiver that anybody really thinks about. There's always like a couple guys in front of him.
one. Think of the
That you talk
quarterbacks.
about
Think of
first.
the quarterbacks he's had too.
I know.
Since
Right?
college.
For sure.
So
For sure.
that's impressive.
Jamar Chase wins the Triple Crown. We talked about that. Barkley also wins the rushing championship, if you will. We knew that was coming, or at
year.
least between him and Henry, and that was about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. After the game on Sunday, quote, "I'm opening the door. I'm out, bro." Tyreek Hill says about his Miami situation. Now, he did meet with McDaniel and
The ownership.
ownership said that he did not. Thank you. That he did not request a trade in the meeting. So, did they resolve it? Did they not? Or is this just eventually, is he going to be traded away anyway this offseason?
Could have been.
This is diva being a diva.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
exactly
I mean,
what
I think
that
it's
is.
just emotion coming out
Yeah.
end of the season. Like, it just
I
frustrated.
mean, he had an awful year.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
I mean, he
yeah,
was
he did.
injured too a little bit. So,
Well,
Yeah.
and Tuo's.
and then
out
when he
most
was
of it.
healthy, Tua was injured. So,
Yeah.
you know, just a bad season all the way
situation.
around. So,
it is, I'd be anyone.
And
would
they
be
almost made
frustrated
the
with that,
playoffs.
so.
maybe Tyreek in Miami. Is there anybody you can think of that could use the Tyreek Hill that would go after him?
everyone.
Yes.
Right. But does
heard
anybody
this.
actually have the capital to do it?
Micah Parsons has been pitching for him
Oh,
to come to
yeah,
Dallas.
from Dallas. Well, Dallas has money. They didn't spend it this year, so
I mean, Tyreek and CD Lamb, that'd be wild.
Oof. Yeah. that would be
just find
something.
someone to throw him the ball.
I'm not, I mean,
Cooper Rush.
I wouldn't have paid Dak $60 million a year, but I'm not fully out on Dak. Like, he still gets them to the playoffs, but then he gets there and that's it. But
Dak is old Tony Romo before Tony Romo was good.
Ooh.
dang.
Hear that, Dak? It's coming
Ouch.
for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Speaking of former Cowboy, Ezekiel Elliott signing with the Chargers practice squad right here before the playoffs. He most likely will be elevated before the game. I definitely spelt that guy's name.
He's hunting for a
Look,
ring.
Chenault Jr. ended up getting cut to make room for that. Vikings signed Daniel Jones to the active roster and cut Brett Ripon.
That was a compensation move
Really?
by us signing him, and then he signs with someone next year. We get compensation.
Who? Daniel Jones?
We get a
Vikings.
third or fourth round pick, I think is what it was.
Interesting.
Little strategy move there.
Was it Quasey getting down and dirty?
Yeah. Digging through the rule book.
All right,
like
all
it.
right. Purdy says he wants to get a deal done, quote, ASAP. I know that I'm the guy for this organization. However, if you think about it, George Kittle, what's his name? Debo, Ayuk last year, they're not known for getting deals done super fast. So should San Fran be looking for a different quarterback, or are you giving Purdy a deal? And he's probably not looking for 50 mil
How much is
a
it?
year. He's probably not looking.
Why
Unless he
wouldn't?
is,
Why
then
wouldn't
I
he?
would not.
He took the team to
I'm
the
not
Super
doing
Bowl.
$50 million a year. I'm not
I think
doing
they give him the Jordan Love deal. That middle of the road, 2-year prove it deal.
Okay, that I'm okay with. But are you okay
like
with that
that.
if you're Brock Purdy though? Like, because to
But
your
in
point,
the
Does
right?
he have a choice?
But in the same
He
answer,
hasn't
what
had
is,
any leverage.
yes, his year wasn't as good, but what else does he have to prove over
Well, the
the
team
years?
was injured all year too.
Correct. So does he have to do a prove it deal because he's already proved it the years prior?
But if he hits the open market, who's begging to get him?
No one. I don't
That's
know.
just it. So like that's why it's like is
A
the,
team with
the
a lot of
Giants who will destroy him.
the Giants are an interesting situation.
So
too.
a team that I
so
can
much
think
came
of
out
that
this
Brock Purdy would thrive in is us, because we have the best offensive weapons.
True, but that's not an
we
option.
do a QB
I know.
swap.
I'm just saying, like
Sam Darnold
that's
goes to
another
San
team
Fran.
that Brock
Well,
Yeah,
he
might
thrive in is a team with a lot
I
of
could see him
offensive
going there,
weapons.
But we're not going to pay him, and then
No.
he's in the same boat.
No.
Right. I
It's
don't know.
interesting. I bet San Francisco takes. I mean, it's sticky, but I bet they take him back. But
They will.
We'll see.
Derek Carr allegedly not interested in taking a pay cut to stay in New Orleans if they ask him to take a pay cut. So Derek Carr could be looking for a job, and I don't know if anybody would take him for a starting role.
No,
at
that's
this
why he's
point.
not taking a pay cut.
Right. Like I think.
He's going to lose money going anywhere else.
Yeah. Would you take?
That's a leverage play by saying that.
Yeah. For him, it's like, hey, I'm not bending.
Yeah, for sure. Would
his
you?
foot in the sand
Would you
right
give
away.
an opportunity to Derek Carr or Daniel Jones first?
Daniel Jones. I'm actually for Daniel Jones. We can talk about that.
I am too, actually. That's why I'm curious.
I
If
think
Sam Darnold walks, do
if
we
Sa-
keep saying Daniel Jones?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Because we don't know if JJ's good to go.
I'm going
no
Derek Carr. I'm going Derek Carr. I think he's a better thrower.
Carr over Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, he's
Just
been-
out of curiosity.
I mean, he's been in the league 10 years proving it. So
Correct. He's had some good seasons.
I like Daniel
Raiders
Jones.
are dumpster fire.
There you go.
I mean, if Daniel Jones were to go to New Orleans, I think he'd mold in with the New Orleans passing attack and the running attack. I do. I think
You
he
better-
think,
better
you think
than
Daniel
Derek Carr?
Jones goes
Yes.
could go potentially
take
go
his
to
job.
NOLA?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Daniel Jones is a tank. I mean, you can do him on a quarterback run and then counter the quarterback run with
We all saw the
Kamara.
70-yard run that he tripped on. So
Yeah.
God, dude.
But when I think of his build,
good
I
call
think
on
of
that one.
Josh Allen's build. And Josh Allen,
all right, if you're a GM, what are you going to pay Daniel Jones?
1 year, $10 million.
I was gonna say he's
Yeah,
probably
just-
getting a 10 mil
exactly.
deal.
He's getting the Sam Darnold
It's a
deal.
Sam Darnold
exactly,
deal.
like a bridge
I think
quarterback
so.
type of thing.
He's already
Yep.
got money from
Right,
New York.
right,
He doesn't
right.
need
Yeah.
money right
Right.
now. So now let's just go find a spot and let's see if I can make more money the next year after I do my prove it deal.
And like if Sam Darnold leaves, like okay, well KOC, hey, can you help fix me too now, please? You
He's
know?
already been
No.
getting fixed if you
I-
think about
I
it. And if
believe
we
it.
don't know
True.
if
I
JJ's
believe
coming
it.
back next year or
We don't.
how his injury is
or
progressed.
if he gets traded.
Yeah.
I know.
I
I
would
don't.
hate
Don't
that.
get me started.
Yeah,
I don't-
yeah.
We should do a draft show. That would be. Fun.
We are going to
should
do a
probably
draft
talk
show.
about that.
We're
Anyway,
totally gonna-
all right, coaching, real quick. I'm gonna rifle through these, and if anything sticks out to you, or you think there's somebody that's a fit for a specific team, just blurt that out here at the end, and we can discuss and tell you that you're wrong. Raiders head coach Antonio Pierce fired after only one season.
Gross.
GM is still in the house at
Not
the
his
moment.
fault.
Jets, LOL, I put. They requested permission to interview Saints interim head coach Darren Rizzi. I think because they fired, what's his name, Dennis Allen halfway through the year.
Yep.
Because they, started 2-0 and then lost 4 in a row and then fired him or something. I can't remember.
It was
But,
dumb.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, they have also requested permission to speak to Brian Flores. That'd be an L for us. And quarterback coach Josh McCown.
Also an L for us.
Have also interviewed Rex Ryan, and they're looking to interview Aaron Glenn, the Lions DC, as well. Bears request permission to interview Mike McCarthy, which I found interesting. Also request permission to interview Bills OC Joe Brady. Aaron Glenn as well is in there, Lions DC. Mike Vrabel looking to make a return as an HC, as he should. I think he will be a Patriot, but
For sure it does.
We'll move on. David Shaw, he's a former Stanford coach, Broncos senior personal executive right now. He's also been talked to about it. Steelers OC Artie Smith as well in that mix. Let's talk about the Patriots. They fired Mayo after only one season. After Kraft said, "quote I felt we regressed." Well, you gave the guy one season.
Yeah, I think
So,
you've regressed
Yeah.
on hiring coaches.
I don't really. That's kind of messed up, if you ask me.
I agree.
It was a weird hire to begin with.
It was a weird
Yes.
hire. Yeah. Yep.
Yes, it was.
And of course, they interview a guy named Pep Hamilton, who I've never heard of.
He was the Browns running back coach for a long time. Pep Hamilton's been in the league a while.
But he's
got
always
this
been
big-
an assistant. Yeah,
Yes, but he's got this
for years.
this salt and pepper beard, and
Oh,
all
yeah, I know,
guys
yes.
love him. He's super fiery. But
So they did interview him already.
But he had a stint in the UFL or the USFL before they all merged out together, and I don't think his team did very well. So I think
Sure.
that's
And his last bigger position was the Texans OC in 2022, and I think that's pre CJ Stroud. So that's when they were
that was
Davis
the Lovey,
Mills.
that was
that
the Lovey Smith
right,
era.
the Lovey Smith experiment that didn't work out.
That wasn't they didn't plan on.
I
Keeping
like
him
Lovey
anyway.
though.
Love him.
Yep.
Also
Love you.
interviewing former Bucks OC Brian Leftwich, and Mike Vrabel is in there, and that is who I honestly believe the Patriots will probably go with. Jaguars fire old Doug. We knew that was coming, but they're going to keep their GM as well. Jags have requested permission to interview the following coaches: Kellen Moore, Todd Monken, who I don't know.
Ravens offensive coordinator.
Oh, good call. Okay, Joe Brady again. Liam Cohen, Bucks OC. Ben Johnson. First time we've heard Ben Johnson's name for real, but I think he's tied to the Jets as well.
He's
Which
tied to a bunch of
a
different
job I would not take. Aaron Glenn, Patrick Graham, and Saleh also. The Jaguars are interested in talking to Robert, as we like to call him, and so does his mother, I'm sure. Titans fire GM. What is that? Ron Carthen. Whatever. They're going to keep their coach though, so interesting. Colts fire their DC, but they're going to roll with the same head coach and GM for 2025. Bengals fire their longtime DC, so he's going to be on the open market, and people think that he's going to be picked up fairly quickly. Giants are keeping their head coach and GM amid their 3-14 season as they head into their fourth season together.
Which is super weird.
Because that's working super
Out of
well.
all the people that got fired, I thought he'd be the one guy that got fired fastest.
I actually like Brian Dable.
I know you personally like him, but he's not a very good football coach.
Has he flown you out to a game yet?
No.
I mean,
What are you getting out of this relationship?
Hold on, I'm
I
also
actually
with
wanted-
Dan though.
I actually wanted the Vikings to hire Dable before KOC.
I said at the beginning of the year that I think Dable's gone, but I also don't think Dable's done a terrible job minus this season. I do think though,
with what he's been given,
with what he's, I mean, you look at, I mean, shoot, they were just in the playoffs with Daniel Jones. What?
and Saquon Barkley.
Yeah. Well, I
you-
think
and you get rid of
then,
both those guys.
Then whose fault is it? Is it the head coach's fault or is it the GM for putting them in a crappy situation?
Does it say the GM got fired there?
No,
Joe
no.
Shaw is a crappy
yeah,
GM.
same
He
GM.
is.
You know what?
He's a crappy GM.
I mean, you just you gave you're like Saquon. This is what we're doing, and if you're not here, it's
Did
so
you
fine. And I'm
did
like,
you
are
hear
kidding?
that
It was on
little
HBO.
behind the door talk?
Yeah, I mean, it was,
Saying that we don't need this running back that runs for so and so amount of
so you
yards.
pick up Devin
said that?
Singletary.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Really good
Yeah,
job.
Joe Schoen said
Yeah.
that. Look it
Oh
up.
gosh, I'm gonna have to. I
He
didn't know that.
sounded not very intelligent. I'm just gonna say that.
But he's been doing it. He's been doing it a long time. I obviously
Yeah.
understand the hire, but I mean,
Well, and with the thought process that there's like running backs aren't valued super high right now, so like
Till this
he's
year.
probably
Until
thinking,
this
like,
year,
oh,
I
we
mean-
can just go get one.
yeah, well,
You
now
know,
the
well,
Bengals need one. The
obviously you've
Giants
seen-
need one. Like
everybody
everyone
does.
needs one.
Everybody
now.
needs one.
Yeah.
And I think Saquon and Derrick Henry, when frickin' CMC's healthy, have brought back
proven
the
it.
running game. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you need a running back. Jameer Gibbs is proving it right now.
Yeah,
You know,
sounds like,
like-
it sounds like you need two.
You were-
Like
you
we
were
drafted a running back in the first round for a reason, which is just unheard of nowadays. It feels like.
yeah,
like-
yeah.
You're also naming off running backs whose teams have outstanding offensive lines.
That's
too.
correct. 100%.
And the Giants' offensive line has always been lacking.
So
I
they
really
drafted
hope-
a wide receiver.
Well, you can't
Yeah.
pass up on Malik.
I agree
Neighbors.
with that. I agree, but I'm more talking about the Bears when
I
they
hope
went
John Michael
Romeo
Schmitz
Dudze
turns it
versus
around,
picking up a whole
Schema.
tackle.
But yeah, the offensive line has been treacherous. And Saquon did what he needed to do for his career, and it paid off.
They need some help. They need a quarterback. I don't know which direction they're going to go.
they do.
I don't know if they're trying to get Cam Ward. They got the third pick or
Giants?
yeah.
Yeah.
So whether they go,
I should be the Giants in Madden now and see if I can fix them. Probably not.
well, if you don't, you won't keep your job anyways.
But I will because I turn coach firing off.
Yeah.
Buddy. You can turn that off.
Sold.
I think what would be. I know you got one bullet point left, so I don't know. If you
Whatever.
wanna be-
Browns fire OC and they're going to keep Stefanski.
I think Antonio Pierce goes to the New York Jets.
As their head coach?
Yes.
Whoa. Interesting.
I think Antonio Pierce as a new he was
Ex-player.
ex-Giant, right?
Yep.
And he was awesome.
Yeah, correct.
Awesome. New York's going to get behind him, right? You send him to the Jets, let him actually do a shot. Now, will that include Aaron Rodgers? Probably not.
I think they need a bigger splash. Ben Johnson sounds like a really nice
But
name.
Ben's not going to take that job. That's why
Well,
he
you're right. It's not as flashy as like a Ben Johnson or somebody with a little bit more recent success.
Yeah.
But Ben won't take the job. That's why he didn't take a head coaching
shouldn't.
job last year. Last year, he's like, the opportunities aren't here that are going to put me in success, so I'm not taking it. I'm in a better spot now as an
Good
OC
call,
for
Ben.
the Lions.
Yeah.
Now he gets to pick and choose kind of what he wants.
There's like what?
He's got
There's-
leverage now.
There's
Agreed.
what 4 or 5 jobs out there that he could take, Ben Johnson?
And the other
Any that are appealing to him right now, you think?
they're
I would take if I'm a
Like
young,
Bears, Patriots,
really good
Jaguars,
offensive
Bears.
coordinator,
I
I'm
think-
taking the Jags.
Jag.
I think-
Are you
Yes.
keeping Trevor Lawrence?
I am.
yes.
Absolutely.
I
I'm
think
gonna
Ben would
develop
take-
him, and
take the Bears job.
Yeah.
I think that's the most
Lucrative.
That's the one you kind of want.
Because I think the
Forgot
Bears
about
could
the
be.
You got a lot of
beat out the
offensive
Vikings
weapons.
next
He's
year.
he's an offensive coach,
Yep.
right? So that's
Defense is okay right now.
So I think that's possibly where he could go. And the only other thought I had would be Vrabel, rather than going to the Patriots because it's an obvious choice. I think he goes to Las Vegas and teams up with Tom Brady with the Raiders.
Interesting. Because that's right. Tom Brady's what
Part owner.
part minority owner there.
You know, I couldn't believe Vrabel even lost his job.
I know.
That was
No,
I
agree.
I agree.
So-
I agree.
I thought he was doing an
We're on the
awesome
same-
job with the
Yeah.
Titans.
I think so too. I mean, you go into New England and beat them. I don't know, whatever.
Playoffs,
In
baby.
the playoffs, in the playoffs.
Titans stuff, I guess.
With that, we're not doing a bonehead this week. I just wanted to kind of talk about wild card. If you bonehead people that love it, you can just count the Vikings offense as bonehead because they had ample opportunities to win that game and it
Good
frustrated me.
idea.
So
Just remember eye twitch.
I know. Kev, with that, let's head right into our wild card weekend preview and picks. All right, wild card weekend. I mean, it's again. I could do the Scooby laugh again, but that's just how
One
excited I
more
am.
time.
It's just so exciting. Yeah, right. But
it
no,
out of
so number 5, LA Chargers finishing the season 11-6, traveling to number 4, Houston Texans finishing the season at 10-7, winning their division. Who do you guys got? Matt, let's start with you.
Texans or Chargers?
And you can give a little blurb why if you want, you know.
Okay, so I think
Okay, he's got to put the pen down.
Oh yeah.
I'm focused. No,
We have 4 picks for Chargers so far.
Well, and I'm going to roll the train. I think Chargers are going to beat the Texans. I think the Texans have shown sometimes that their offense has holes and issues. I think CJ Stroud has done a good job. You can't get me wrong. I think he's going to be a great quarterback. I think in the same way, sophomore slump wise, a lot of pressure. Now, were the Texans the playoff last year?
Yep.
And how'd that turn out?
They won one game.
Okay, so you can think
They're one
maybe
this week.
Well, that's what you think. I think the Chargers are going to beat him. I think Harbaugh's a different person. I think J.K. Dobbins is a different runner than Eckler, but I think he gives you something more than Eckler
When he's healthy, I agree.
when he's healthy
100%.
and he's back. So
100%.
hopefully,
He is back. Yeah,
I think the receiving game for the Chargers has been lacking, minus Ladd McConkey.
I agree.
But
Quentin Johnson or whatever needs to get it going.
I think
Catch the ball.
I just think the Chargers are going to take that one. I think there's too much pressure. I don't think it's going to be a high scoring. I don't think it's going to be a low scoring game. I think it's going to come down to which offense can score the most points, which is sports. But
Wow. Write that down. Kevin, mark that.
yep, the more points win.
Dan.
I'm gonna go the opposite, Matt. I'm gonna go the Texans. I just think home field is gonna play a lot of advantage into this. I think D'Amico Ryans is gonna harp on that run game to get it stopped right away. He's gonna try to have Herbert throw a lot, which Harbaugh doesn't want to do. Obviously, he loves the run. He loves the ground and pound. I don't know. I just think the Texans do get this one. I think home
fair
field
enough.
will have a lot to do with it.
You
And
think
I
there's
think
enough?
it's
Do
gonna
you
be
think there's
loud there.
enough like Houston Texans fans out there to give them a home
yeah.
field advantage?
Oh yeah.
Well-
every NFL team has enough bandwagon fans to fill a
The
stadium.
ones that
Oh,
are
for
done
sizzle.
with the Cowboys go right from Dallas to Houston.
Yeah.
Right there you go.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, give me the Texans.
Yeah, Dan, first one to take the Texans in this lineup. I got to stay with the Chargers. I mean, yes, I'm a fan, but also I think Harbaugh has unlocked something different in Herbert. I agree he doesn't like to throw the ball as much, but it's a different Justin Herbert. He's very efficient right now. I mean, 23 tuds on 3 picks for the season. The season that he was injured for a little bit, he's had this ongoing foot ankle issue for the last 2 years, and then has an AC joint thing like Trevor Lawrence every now and then. But anyway, but I'm going Chargers. Healthy. A healthy J.K. Dobbins is a game changer.
Different
You
team.
know,
Yeah.
maybe you're going to bring in Zeke just for a goal line package thing or something. I don't know, but
No, Zeke sits.
no, and for sure he's not coming in to get clock.
Oh, he's game ready.
Let's be clear.
Feed him.
But yeah, if they can shut down Joe Mixon defensively, I think the Chargers should have no problem. And what the Texans have shown us ending their season is nothing I'm scared about. And I was really high on the Texans.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah.
they just, I don't
Injuries.
know. I don't know what's
injuries
going
on
It is
offense. The
injuries.
receiver core has just been totally beat up. And if you want to finish any more into the conversation,
No, I agree, 100%. Go for
this
it.
one is like a coin flip for me.
I mean, it is, but
I'm going with the Texans. Just I don't know why I have a weird feeling in the
You guys,
Texans.
you do.
But I'm with you on J.K. Dobbins being back. That helps Justin Herbert so much. Defensively, I think they're kind of a wash. Well, you got Mack and Bosa with the Chargers, and then
healthy.
on the other side you have Hunter and Will Anderson.
Beast. Both of those guys.
And that's where I think one of those two is
Disgusting.
just going to be the difference maker at the end of the game. That's going to flip it. If I feel like if the Texans just get a lead, force the Chargers at the pass, especially in the fourth quarter, that's when one of those two edge rushers is going to make a play.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
Fair enough. To go with everybody else here, Jake, and I'll update the regular season final standings after we do our picks here. I should have done that before, but we're already in it, so we'll just do it after. No big deal.
Stay hot.
Jake, he finished third this year. He took the Chargers. Matt obviously just took the Chargers. Tyler, our Packer fan, took the Chargers. Let's see. I do not have anything back from our other Packer fan yet. That's because I didn't send it to him. Nice.
We got a couple
I'm
days.
doing a good job here. Anyway, let's see. Graham also took the Chargers. Dom took the Chargers.
Heavy on the Chargers.
Cody took the Chargers. Trey took the Chargers. D'Angelo, I do not have one back yet from D'Angelo. So 2 Texans and everybody else Chargers at the moment. So what was the Vegas on that one?
I was just going to look. I just saw it.
I'm not big on the Vegas stuff, but if somebody wants to keep an eye on that and throw it in there for these games, that's cool. Let me see here. Let me pull it back up. See if I can grab it really quick.
I'm going to beat you to it. 2.5.
I just 2.5. 2.5 Chargers. But
Wow.
Started at even, so the money's moved a little bit towards the Texans.
Well, it's hard to stop Joe Mixon sometimes. So
I agree.
So let's move on to a slightly harder one, I think. Steelers traveling to Baltimore. Dan says no. Dan, why don't you just take it away?
Yeah.
Dan's confident over here.
I think the Steelers finished the season poorly. I think Russell doesn't have a lot of juice left in him, and he's coming into a hostile crowd in Baltimore, and Baltimore is going to be ready to play because they don't like the Steelers, and Steelers don't like the Ravens. I think the Steelers might punch them in the mouth right away just to show that this is playoff football, but then the Ravens, once they get rolling, they won't stop.
Just a quick jab, not a knockout, and then it'll wake up the old Ravens.
Well,
And
the Steelers really haven't played a complete game this whole year. I mean,
The whole
they've
year,
been
you
playing.
think?
No, I mean,
this has come from the pick leader
they
mouth
have,
right
they
now.
have
So
a very good
listen
coach.
up, boys and
That
girls.
is why they are in the position that they are right now. I mean, you don't have 10 wins and play QB carousel with old Russell Wilson and Fields. I mean,
is that smart or is it dumb that he did?
I think it was smart. I do.
I mean, okay, yeah.
Because I think that Steelers were more built for a pocket quarterback rather than Justin, who's a dual threat.
Agreed.
So
Especially with their ground and pound style of
Yes.
offense with Najee and
Exactly.
Warner.
Yep. I like it.
What do you
yeah,
think there,
give me the
Matt?
Ravens.
Which direction you going with this?
I have down.
Well, you wrote it down even.
I write everything down, and I didn't write that one down. No, I think
The system's working.
Thank you. I think truly, I think the Ravens will win that game. I mean, I don't know why you can't, like Lamar's putting up MVP numbers. I do, like you said, Dan, I think with the dual threat quarterback, I thought it was smart. I thought it does develop something you have to scheme for, right? As you go into each week, you have to scheme on what are they going to do and think about, and then try and plan for that.
Right.
And are you going to spend a lot of time planning for a read option with Justin Fields or a read option with Russell Wilson?
Yeah.
Right? So I think the Ravens go away with it. Like you said, hostile environment. Ray Lewis will be there probably with his entrance, 100%. It's going to fire everybody up. I do think they are going to hit him in the mouth. TJ Watt's going to be aggressive, but I think Lamar is too elusive and too shifty. And what he does on the run is wild.
Yes.
Like, I mean, some of the stuff he does, you sit there and like, is that a quarterback?
Yeah.
And to most people, he was a wide receiver at the beginning of his career,
and then a running back.
But look at him now, right? So I think it does come down for the Ravens. Comes down to Derrick Henry. Obviously, I think he needs to be the big part of that win. Because I have Zay Flowers has done a decent job, right? But their wide receivers
he's questionable too.
Correct. Their wide receivers haven't really like wowed me by any means. Rashad Bateman gets a big catch here and there. Zay Flowers will do a big catch here and there, but I think it's a lot of dumping to Mark Andrews and
who didn't really get going till
later on, and
who was
likely
also injured. But
but I think with Lamar and Derrick Henry, I think it's just too unstoppable for any team, really.
Fair enough, and I'm gonna ride that train as well. I think for me, Baltimore's offense is a strength of their team. Steelers' defense is a strength of their team, and I think Baltimore's offense is just that much, that little bit better than the Steelers' defense. I think the Steelers' offense compared to the Baltimore's defense can be a wash depending on the day. So I think for me, it's just Baltimore's offense just going to run the show. And since you're at home, you're going to be able to get the play calls in. You'd think, and everybody's going to be on the same page. I think it's just going to be nasty. Now, T.J. Watt, we've seen can take over a game by himself, dang near. So
and
it just really depends.
Yeah. And Wilson's a veteran quarterback too, so he's
been in these situations.
So the crowd's not gonna make him as nervous, a little bit. But I'm totally going Ravens on this aspect.
For sure.
I mean, Vegas got him by 8.5.
Yeah.
Steelers have lost their last 4 games.
And what 3.5 out of the 8.5 is because you're home. Pretty much, right? So even by 5, you take that away, right?
I just feel like the Steelers are just trending downwards, with 4 losses in a row. They've lost 5 of the last 7.
They did not end the season.
They're just not ending the season well. So, and the Ravens at home, I just feel like this is going to be the Ravens game.
Yep.
For sure. And so does everybody else here at Banter at the Boys. I mean,
all the boys?
Yeah.
This was the hard one?
And the girl. Rachel has also gone with the Ravens.
Wow.
That'll go Rachel.
We don't have a single Steelers pick at the moment. We're only missing 2 people's picks tonight, too. So
we'll put Mike down as a Steelers.
No,
if they don't get back, they're both Steelers.
He's off. All right. So third game. I got something interesting here. Broncos at the Buffalo Bills. What do we got here? The number 7 Broncos at that, coming in 10-7 at the number 2 Bills, 13-4. We do have somebody that has taken the Broncos.
Whoa.
That is Graham taking the Broncos in Buffalo. The Broncos are fired up. We've seen what the Bills can do.
Yes.
Which is choke in the playoffs, just like the Vikings.
Yes,
Don't get me
they
started.
can. And the Broncos have the horses to play defense against the old Bills.
They do.
Oh man, it is tough. That's a
Pass rush in the
tough
secondary.
game.
This is a tougher game than
You look excited. What do you got? I'll let you go. You go first before me.
I can't go against the MVP, Josh Allen, so I'm still going the Bills. But I think this game is going to be really competitive. I
think it's a barn burner.
I think this is going to be a barn burner. I think the Broncos. I mean, they're coming off that making the playoffs after last year's struggle. Everyone's excited. They got the defense. Definitely, they can play. The Bills' defense also has kind of been slithering away the last few weeks, which gives me a little more Bo Nix. Like, all right, let's see what we can do. Cortland Sutton's still an issue, no matter who plays against them. So I'm going with Noah Fant, not Noah Fant, I guess, but Seattle. Noah Fant used to be on him. Now he's with Seattle, I'm still going with the Bills. I think they still have Josh Allen. He's gonna be the difference maker.
And since it's Buffalo, I was just gonna see if it's gonna snow there.
It is. The weather right now is 30 degrees and snowy, according for Sunday around 4 p.m.
Which helps the Bills, I think. Because I think that's where Josh Allen and
I'm showing that. Oh, it's that storm that's over there. Right
I know.
That's right.
The dumping across there. Oh my gosh.
So who knows? You never know what you're gonna get there, but it's not like Denver wouldn't be used to that type of weather either. But it's different in Buffalo, though. I
just don't think Denver can run the ball as good as the Bills will be able to.
Yes.
I mean, those running backs are completely 2 different animals.
I agree, they are.
Devontae Williams compared to like James Cook, it's just 2 different.
And Josh Allen.
Then Josh Allen,
But
running back.
How long was Javonte Williams injured, or did he play? He played all the games.
I don't know if he played every game.
Javonte Williams, 17 games played for.
That's gonna be like
for 513 yards.
Who else? Are you looking at their rushing stats right now?
Yep.
Who else?
McLaughlin had 113 carries on 496. He did have a better yard average, so 4.4.
Yeah,
like
just
under
not
1,000 for a
just
team.
not enough of a rushing threat though.
Yeah.
To be able to take
For a
out-
snow game? I don't know. I'll let you get your pick in.
I got to go with the Bills. I think they're just coming into the playoffs kind of hot. Like I would take the Bills over the Chiefs right now if they were to play, and the Bills finally beat Mahomes. But yeah, I think the Bills are. It's between the Bills and the Ravens for me as a favorite out of the AFC at the moment. Anyway, so I just got to ride with the Bills on this one.
Mm-hmm. I'll go. Yeah. You know, as kind of a Buffalo Bills fan, and my wife loves Josh Allen, like we talked about. Right. You know, it's a big deal, and I told you I bought her a jersey. So if it's not the Vikings, we'd love to see the Bills succeed. I do think they do it. Bo Nix does scare me. I've seen his games. Like, dude's a baller. He's a gamer.
He takes chances.
He takes chances. He runs. He pulls the ball. He takes off. Goes for 30, 40 yards when you're not expecting it. I think
when
Sean,
you need it. Yeah.
Correct. And I do think Sean Payton, who has been in the situation before, will get ballsy. You know, the onside kick and at the start the second half of what was that, the Super Bowl, or was that
just can't do it now.
Yeah.
So, but with it being as snowy as it's probably going to be, and the rushing game that the Bills have, I just think they are more of a complete team, rather than running by committee with two average running backs. So
that's a great take, Ben.
So that's it.
That's it. Bills.
Daniel, did you already pick the Bills?
No, he did not.
But I will pick the
About
Bills.
to pick
Rob. You know, this really just depends on who Patrick Surtain's lined up against, because then I think
Coleman
Josh
probably,
Allen
or
will
Coleman's
definitely
out.
have to get the ball to either Keon Coleman or Khalil Shakir, whoever he's not guarding. So with that being said,
Collins?
they're gonna ride.
Yeah, probably not
James
Shakir
Cook
at all.
like crazy.
They're gonna ride James.
Oh, 1,000%. I think they're gonna
Have
run.
to.
They're gonna run all over this.
Well, and
Broncos
Davis
team.
too. The Bills backup, that Davis dude has been going. I don't even know his first name.
Mike?
Is it?
Is it?
No,
I
that's
don't
not
know.
Mike Davis. That's old school, man. Let me see. I got it here.
Terrell, I
Ray
guess.
Davis.
Yeah. But yeah, the Bills, and this will be a little welcome to playoff football moment for Bo Nix. You know, he's gonna soak it in. He's gonna know
Throw some high balls like Sam Darnold.
You know, I think Sean will put him into a position to succeed. So he'll get him warmed up with a couple of slip screens there. You know, just toss to your receiver. I think that's what it's gonna be like, but it's gonna be too much. And like I said, they're gonna ride James Cook, and he's gonna have at least 80 yards. With a lot of reception yards too.
That boy.
So over 100 scrimmage yards for sure.
Pretty much. Yeah. For sure.
Let's see. Next game. Number 7 Packers, but number 7 at 11-6. Number 2 Philadelphia Eagles, 14-3. This game will be in Philly. There is one person that has chosen the Packers so far. That is Tyler. He is a Packer fan. So that's a given.
Skewed.
Default.
That's a given. Here's a couple injuries for you all.
That's what matters in this game.
Quay Walker is right now questionable for the Packers. Jordan Love, questionable. I imagine he will play. Christian Watson, obviously, out. Nothing about Jair Alexander. I think he's out for the season, though. And
Wow.
they've kind of shut him down.
Yeah.
It's really weird. I don't really know what's going on with that.
Weird.
But they're missing their one of their tackles, Andre Dillard, as well. They're missing a safety, Evan Williams. I don't know if he's key to them or not. He doesn't sound familiar to me. Eagles right now, Hurts is questionable, but that's with concussion too, so that's tough. That's super. Who knows, right?
Concussions are tricky, man.
Devontae Smith also questionable. N'Kobe Dean, that linebacker, I think he was a
Georgia.
kid. Yeah, he's
Dog.
questionable. He's questionable. AJ Brown,
Sorry, yelled in the mic.
questionable. You know, guys like AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. I don't know what their injuries are, but I think they may play. But again, Hurts is a giant question mark right now.
Yes.
Concussion protocol.
So that being said, who are you taking?
With that being said, I'm taking the Packers. I think this is going to be an upset at Lincoln Financial Field, even if Jalen Hurts plays. I think the Eagles have had a great season. They got hot at the right time. Saquon Barkley is completely unstoppable. But I think if Jordan Love is healthy enough, he's got enough options there. The receiving core, both tight ends. Josh Jacobs gives you. I mean, I hate that he's in the NFC North. I don't know. I think it's gonna be close, but I think the Packers have enough to upset Philly in Philly. And I'd like them to be out of the playoffs ASAP. And then the Packers are next. Followed by the Lions.
So I see where all the weight of your opinion comes on more than just you're thinking of the next game versus the current game.
No. I mean, current game. I think a healthy Packers can absolutely take this team. And the game at the beginning of the season doesn't count at all. That game just doesn't even matter right now.
I was just going to ask you that. Are you watching any film on that first week? Or are you saying these teams are completely different?
Maybe one time, right? Just to see if there's a couple
for like
things.
A formation.
But then watch their latest game or their latest game against a team more like your defense or something and see if they're doing anything different.
No,
if not, then
right.
you can go watch that whole game. But if so, I think NFL is so complex.
Yeah,
like
I think you're right.
I think it's so hard to use that
Teams
game.
change from first week to
you
week
have
18. 1,000%.
Yeah.
So
Well, you figure out your own strengths.
yeah,
You know,
sure,
like,
very true.
that's the main thing.
So
Daniel wants
what
to
are you
take-
doing,
yeah.
Dan?
Gosh, man,
I know. I'm trying to sell you on
Set the bar,
the green and
Dan.
gold
I'm gonna
for
do a
some
bunch
reason.
of what ifs right now. So if Jalen Hurts is hurt, I'm gonna go Packers. If he's healthy, I'm gonna go Eagles. But
Well, you can't
I
do that
obviously
here at
can't
Banter with
do
the
that.
Boys, son.
So
And I know we're like 3-4 days from this happening, so anything can change.
Let's say Harris is
I'm
playing.
gonna go Packers.
You're going Packers too?
Yes.
Interested.
Yes. I just
Drinking the Kool-Aid.
There's gonna be a big team
Yeah.
to fall.
For sure
There's
is.
gonna be a big team
I
to
agree.
fall this weekend. It could be the
Yes.
Vikings, but there's gonna be a
No.
big high win team that's going to fall this weekend.
yes. And the Packers have upset. I mean, yeah, the Cowboys have all their problems in the playoffs, but they were still a good team last year.
Losing Christian
the
Watson
Packers
is big,
came in
though.
there
Yeah,
and
I think
beat
so.
them.
Sucks.
They almost beat the 49ers, and then they let the fourth quarter happen, and the Niners came back. So Packers seem to turn it on when the playoffs come, and we all know this. We don't like it, but if there is a team,
Eagles have Super Bowl experience.
they do. They do.
half their team.
Are you changing your mind, Dan?
No, I'm rolling with the Packers. Wow.
What about you, Matt? You feel like
do.
you already made your mind up.
Yeah, no, there's no way I'm picking the Packers in this.
Attaboy.
Wow.
Partially,
You guys are
I'm
idiots.
biased, and I'm a Vikings fan. I don't want to see it, but but truly, if I break it down, right, Christian Watson, wasn't he injured at the beginning of the year?
Christian Watson. Yes, he was.
I
Oh,
know
yeah.
he
Okay.
had a
So then,
hamstring.
what was the Packers' record at the beginning of the year?
Not so hot.
Average.
Correct. So are they an average team at this moment?
I agree.
Okay, so will Jalen Hurts have a concussion? It is tricky to determine whether or not he will. I think he plays. I think there's probably some sort of person that'll be like, "Yeah, is your
Slip
headache
him
that bad?"
$20.
Yeah,
Get him prescription.
with Devontae Smith potentially being out, I don't think he's had that great of a year, and I think
Yeah.
AJ Brown has been better.
Who also missed a good chunk of the year.
And then you look at Saquon. I mean, dude, just give the guy the ball the whole time. Do I think it's going to be a high-scoring game? No, absolutely not. I think it's going to come down to maybe like a 10-7
Is that a
game or a
factor at
13.
all? Is that a factor at
that
all for
low
you?
scoring.
Saquon, yes, right. I get that. But Devontae Smith and AJ Brown missing time and being inconsistent, is that a factor at all for you? Or
I don't
you're
think
just
I think AJ Brown's going to be fine. I think AJ Brown's going to take over the game minus Saquon.
okay.
I don't think Devontae Smith isn't as much of a factor as AJ Brown is. AJ Brown's actually over 1,000 yards
You're
right
just
now.
gonna play this week.
AJ Brown's got 97 targets, over 1,000 yards, 16
Read
yard
him those
average.
stats.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't care.
Devontae
Stats
Smith
don't
did have
matter when you
8,
get
but
to playoffs. It's a new game. It's a new season in the
yeah,
playoffs.
everyone starts over. But in the same aspect of, even though I hate Nick Sirianni, like with a passion,
Me too.
I think, I think it's with a
too.
passion. I think I really don't like him.
Kind of with you, I think.
I gotta find him in Nick.
I
Sirianni.
think he does win the game, but I think when it comes down to potential of who the Vikings can play in the NFC, I think I'd rather take the Eagles than the Packers.
Like you'd rather play the Eagles than the Packers.
Yep, because the
Oh, yeah, I
Packers,
mean, I would too. That's what I'm saying. So that's why you don't think the Packers can beat the Eagles?
No.
no, I think we can beat the Eagles. I don't want to see the Packers. I don't want to see them.
Correct. So the Eagles aren't a threat to the Packers aren't a threat to the Eagles.
No, but we play the Packers 2 times a year, right?
right.
They
No,
have-
you
they have
don't
Phil-
beat them 3 times. I get that.
We
I
have
get that
correct, and we played them
mentality.
twice.
For sure.
You
I
watch
understand.
film, you look at
Right.
everything. What do they got? Right? They know Josh Jacobs can run on us. Cool, right? Now Saquon is also as scary.
100%.
No, I think I think this game is a coin flip, and I think it's low scoring.
Really?
But I do think the Eagles just slip on by, and then I think they lose the week after.
To the Vikings. Yep.
So that's where I'm at with that.
I'm going blowout Eagles in this game. I'm going Eagles defense is actually going to. The Watson injuries is more significant of a deal than most people are thinking.
It is super. big
He's the
deal.
one
Yeah.
that takes the top off, makes them sit in those high safeties, and makes them respect that throw. And with the secondary that actually the Eagles have, they can get up in your face and play a little defense too. So Josh Jacobs would be the only thing I think that maybe keeps them in the game if they can establish any bit of a running game. But if he doesn't get going, 31-10.
31-10.
Wow.
Woo.
BTA.
Actually, I'd love to see it.
I don't want to see the Eagles. I think they're a better team even against the Vikings too, because the Vikings rush defense is probably
Matt's knuckles are gonna get sore from knocking all that.
That's just the
They're
real
cold.
conversation. Yeah, so I think the Watson injury is going to be
It's gonna be big for him. But I think there's enough in that receiving core at this point in the season that.
and
Octavian
no
Wicks.
Alexander on the outside really hurts the back.
But they haven't had him all year. I mean, you can't count on the guy right now.
and that's why they're
But
the
you got the
7th
best
seed.
safety in the game too.
True, but that's why they're also in the playoffs and other teams aren't. So we'll see. I don't know. They've still played in a really tough division. I don't know. I think it's gonna be a
Me
great
and Rob
game.
are going to be high-fiving next week,
Yeah,
and y'all
because
be
the
just...
Eagles won. That's weird.
No,
I don't think
we're not
we'll-
I wouldn't
we're not
high five
gonna
if the
high-five. We're not
Packers
gonna
won.
high-five.
I wouldn't high five if the Packers won.
just
There
do
was a
it
way
like
that
cool
both
man head
teams
nod.
would lose. I would high five everyone.
Right, can they both lose? Yeah. All right. Number 6 Commanders at 12-5, traveling to Tampa Bay, the number 3 team at 10-7. Ooh. This one's a little bit more of a split from the picks that we have received. Let's see. Tyler, Graham, Cody, and Dom have all gone Bucks. Jake, Ben, Trey, and Rachel have all gone Commanders.
Wow.
We got an
Daniels.
exact split coming into this one right now. I started last one, so Rob, why don't you start this one?
I'm definitely going Commanders in this one. It's a tough. I thought
Definitely.
the Bucks, they're hot right now. I just think Jalen Daniels is going to give that defense on the backside. The Bucks are a little banged up in the secondary, and I think that'll be enough. The only way I think Washington has any issues if Tampa can establish the running game with Irving. Who's a beast, but I still think they have the defense enough just to. And Mike Evans is probably the biggest threat in the passing games, and who knows what you get out of Baker? Consistency. Now it's pressure time, and he's got to be proven.
It's pressure time for Jane Daniels.
I
too.
agreed, but he's just that quarterback doesn't seem to be a phase. He's played so much football,
But that's what we thought
so
about
many big games,
CJ Stroud last
and they're in the playoffs too still. So
True. Correct.
I'm going Daniels on this game. I haven't picked the Commanders all the year. I've picked the Bucks
really
every
haven't.
game.
Yeah.
I just have a feeling it's going to be flipped home. It's going to be a little different.
For sure. Well, flipped. It's going to be in Tampa Bay.
Well, in Tampa
But
Bay,
yeah. Fair enough. I would agree. I think the Commanders' defense for me is just slightly better than the Tampa Bay defense. I think Tampa Bay's defense has carried them a little bit towards the end of the season here. Bucky Irving's a dude.
Yeah.
I got to keep remembering that he wears number 7 and not
Leonard Fournette.
Leonard.
Yes.
Because I keep confusing that. And I shouldn't be at this point because Bucky's a beast. But even if Baker plays well, I think this one could be a shootout, to be honest. Even though both defenses I like and I think are good. But
I see this one in the 30s.
Both teams?
I
Yep.
agree. I think Jaden Daniels brings you a different factor to it. And I took the Texans last year too, round 1. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm taking Commanders. I think it's gonna. I'm stamping it. I think it's gonna be good. I think the Commanders could even, make next round interesting as well in the NFC. So who knows? But yeah, Commanders for me.
Wow.
Daniel.
Dan.
I'm gonna go to the Bucks
$1.
Tell me more.
because I've seen a lot of the offensive plays that the Commanders have ran the last 2 weeks, and they have a lot of RPO plus quarterback draw. And I think
Which Jay
that
Daniels is
the
very
Tampa
good at.
Bay linebacking core is fast enough to put a spy
handle the
on
RPO.
Jaden Daniels, and they're going to make him throw the ball a lot. And in this playoff atmosphere, you don't really want your young quarterback to be throwing the ball a whole ton.
As much. Sure. Fair enough.
You mean the offensive rookie of the year?
Yes. It's in Tampa
love
Bay. I'm just a big stickler for home playoff. I really
Which is
think
true. I think
turf
home field advantage in the
makes a
playoffs
huge
is huge.
difference.
That's why it sucks that we lost last.
So,
But
Yeah.
and Jane Daniels is going to experience that crowd, and I just think the Bucks. I think Todd Bowles will have a great plan for the young quarterback.
all right.
to
Give me a
wrap him up.
score to your
I do.
vibe.
Huh?
Give me a
What's your
score.
score?
I'm gonna go Bucks 24, Commanders 22.
gonna hold you to that.
Ooh, right down
Close,
the end
though.
then.
Close,
all
though.
right,
Okay.
all right.
Right down to the wire.
Yeah.
Knock on some wood.
Not for that game. Oh, not for the Bucks.
Well,
The Commanders?
on your right pick. How about that?
I'm like both of you. I do feel very split in this. But I think I am taking the Buccaneers in this.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
When it comes down to, I mean, Jaden Daniels, yes, he's a rookie. He's shined. He's done very well. Currently the leading rusher on the Commanders
that should be startling,
for 891 yards, it says.
which is enough.
I think it's a rookie, isn't it? Record?
It probably. Well, there's no way
there's
RG3
Or RG3,
Lamar.
yeah.
Ooh, on the same squad. Either way, moving on.
Cam Newton, I think.
When it comes down to it, though, I
think
think Baker truly give him this opportunity, right? How many opportunities has he had?
That he's
Minus
dropped.
like last year, weren't they in the playoffs last year and they lost?
Yes.
Okay, so
They
like
beat
that
the Eagles first round.
correct. So and that was that his first year in Tampa?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it
now
was.
he's sitting here with some fire in his bones, right? And I think he's shown that gamer mentality. Like, dude's got it.
He's a dog.
Dude can play.
Yeah.
He does.
Okay, and you give him a playoff chance against a rookie team, and then we can't forget about how Todd Bowles took on the Chiefs when he was defensive coordinator for the Bucs, right? When the Buccaneers beat the Chiefs, the defense that the Bucs put out was gnarly.
Yes.
They rattled the cage of Pat Mahomes. They took him around. They beat him up. And I do think that that's going to be at play, especially with the RPOs and the running quarterback just in general. The downfall is you can't scheme for broken plays, and Jaden Daniels can do that.
Yes, he can very
So
well.
how well can they spy the quarterback, and when they don't spy, that they actually hit on a blitz or anything like that? So that's scary. Like
So the banged up secondary in Tampa doesn't bother you or scare you.
because at that point, if the quarterback gets to the second level to the secondary, he should score anyway. If the linebackers and D-line can't contain the quarterback, that's on the defense's fault for the Buccaneers.
Okay.
So they have to get him before that secondary hits.
Yep.
And I think they will, just because of Todd Bowles and his history that he has. So
Jaden Daniels did beat RG3's rookie rushing record by a quarterback.
What a great football player.
Congratulations, Jaden Daniels.
By 5 yards.
also, I looked up. Bobby Wagner is the leading tackler for the Commanders.
Yes,
right
sir.
now. Isn't that
Yes, he
wild?
Yes, sir. Dan
Seattle.
Quinn's using him like a
And I think
weapon.
Dan Quinn's done a great job, right?
He
Dan
has.
Quinn has
He
done
has.
a great job.
Yes.
But
They
yeah,
went from the second pick to the playoffs, so
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
For sure.
Wild.
Let's talk about the game that actually matters.
the only one.
Vikings at Rams.
Save the best for last.
Yeah. Skull. Sorry, I'm struggling for you Spotify listeners. Skull. Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
He's
two
got
hands
short
together.
arms.
There it is. All
Can't
right.
see it.
1, 2, skull. All right. Yeah, there he is. Vikings at LA Rams, who we've lost to already this year, 30-20, I believe the
bring that
score was. Absolutely,
did.
we got to bring that
Just
up.
watch that game.
Atrocious, by the way.
It was 21-20 at end of the third quarter.
Ooh, I don't want to start with this one. Dan.
Yeah.
Vikings at Rams, my guy.
I don't want to start with this one because I know you guys aren't going to like what I'm about to say.
Then
Are
don't-
you kidding?
Don't start with that.
Why is he even coming on the show?
I'm sorry,
Hold
guys.
on, let me go first then.
For the sake of a
I,
pick, unbelievable. What a fan.
I pick the Vikings to win.
All right,
Oh,
now
Matt's
you can go.
going.
Now
I
you can
pick
go,
the
Daniel.
Vikings to win.
Vikings going to win this game. Why?
No, just going on that. I think the Vikings have to show out. I think they know they kind of messed up last week. Even Sam took credibility for it. Sam's like, I need to be better. And I think that team has enough.
I mean, I can take credibility for it too. Like, I had a bad podcast last week. I need to be better.
there you go.
You know what I mean?
You own it.
I owned it.
I just think the team, the locker room atmosphere that the Vikings have is like too tight knit to where they will rally behind each other. They will come out and they will.
I hope so.
They will put it to them.
I
Now,
hope so. That's
on
what,
the other
that's what Aaron
hand,
Jones said, and somebody else said that too. That the Vikings team this year is really close.
they're close,
Really,
and that plays a huge part in it. So I do think they come out, they play out hard. The thing that scares me are the Rams. The Rams scare me.
oh yeah, dude. And like Rob and I have talked about it all season too. It's just like, dude, they're so unpredictable.
When they lost games, they had Puka out, Cooper out. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, what are you supposed to do in that scenario?
But then once they got healthy, I mean, Stafford's slinging the thing.
It's gross. It's really
what's
gross.
their running back? Kyron Williams or
Yes.
something?
Kyron Williams is
dude,
good.
that dude's does enough to disrupt the game. Like,
Correct.
it's gonna be close.
No, It won't.
Oh, all right,
it won't
bet.
be close.
Let me knock on wood.
Just out of, I don't know, spite. It won't be close.
Okay, fine. Fair
All
enough.
right, Daniel, let's get this over with. Rip the Band-Aid off.
You can't go first if he's gonna.
Hype
You
the
can't
Rams.
start with.
I know.
Thank you for shutting him down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go the Rams.
All right, moving on.
And I'm gonna be
all right.
heartbroken
Everybody. can
Why
knock
though?
on
Why?
wood.
All right, well, give us the
Can we all knock on wood right now?
because this is a Monday night game. We saw how jittery we were on a Sunday night game.
I think that doesn't play a factor at all. Move on.
Sean McVay knows KOC like the backhand of a book because
That
they
for
are
sure.
the
For
same
sure.
exact head coach.
And that's why we lost the first game, okay? But
Yes.
IMO.
And those are my only two reasons, and those two reasons will be exactly why.
Do you think it's close?
No, I think I think it'll be very close, and we're gonna be. We know how the Vikings have lost in heartbreaking
For sure,
fashion. We're
for
right
sure,
there.
for
It's
sure.
gonna
And-
be a
yeah.
24-23 game, and it's gonna break my heart. But this was
the sake of the
this was
pick.
one team I didn't want to see in the playoffs. And
No, I agree.
hot take,
100%. I agree.
Rams lost last weekend on purpose.
Well, they
Well,
sat
yeah,
everybody.
I mean, you
They
played
sat
Jimmy
everybody.
Garoppolo and you
Well,
played.
they could have still won that game.
Which is
It was right there.
Well, so
Right,
you're going to win a
right.
game with Jimmy Garoppolo is also scary when he
Yeah.
throws for 41 times.
Yeah, but I just think they lost on purpose because they know they match up well against us.
Well, they
And
didn't
this
know they were
scares
playing
me,
us,
but-
but
Can our corners take on Puka and Cooper Kupp?
If we have enough of a pass rush, absolutely.
Can Aaron Jones give us a full
We
hat?
need a pass rush.
that is true.
I think
We
we
can't
need
let
him.
Stafford sit back there for 3-4 seconds. Otherwise, he's just going to torch us. So,
But that's the thing, though. They were sending pressure on Jared Goff early, which, don't get me wrong, was working. And again, I think it
Yes.
plays into the point where, well, we didn't answer at all offensively. So, like, it's hard to keep that shutdown defense the whole game. And you're like,
when Ivan Pace gets a pick on their side of the
Dude.
50, like you
the
have,
winning
yeah.
the turnover battle, 0 for 4 in the.
So you think the
I'm
corners?
sorry,
think it's
guys.
an
I hope
anomaly.
I'm wrong, but I'm going Rams. Sorry.
I appreciate that was from the heart, though. The sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, did you
At
see?
least.
It meant
It meant something. I know. I appreciate that was from the heart, Dan. The rest of us, let me start it off. Rob, you can finish.
All right.
Vikings all day. I do think it's going to be close, but I think they need a healthy Aaron Jones to make a difference. Don't get me wrong. Cam Akers had that big run. But
against
Aaron Jones
against another old Rams team.
is true, and Aaron Jones is just different. Like when he's in the game, a little bit.
He's
like,
locked in.
He gives us more than what Dalvin Cook was giving us his final season. You know, he just gives us a little bit more when he's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
a little bit of breakaway to him.
so we need that. We need the ball to get in Jordan Addison's hand early. We need the ball to get in Justin Jefferson's hand early. We need to not target Justin Jefferson 3 plays in a row. That's
That's dumb.
just not going to work. You know what I mean? So I hope that Sam Darnold bounces back this week. We need to have him. He's the reason why we're here. He's the reason why I think that's the reason why they're going to bounce back. It's still a 14-win team. I mean, there's a lot of good. You have to throw last week's game away. It is an anomaly compared to the last few weeks. You take advantage of the situations early, like you've done all year. The Vikings have out-turnovered every team in the first quarter, probably outscored every team in the league in the first quarter. Get up early and don't look.
and we might, and we could have definitely done that against Detroit.
100%.
We could have outscored them in
and
the first
if they
quarter.
did,
if they
that
would've
would have been
completed.
our formula, like they've used all season, is get up early, fast.
Yep.
And it, you know. So
And we just didn't hit.
Rob, take us home.
Yeah,
kind of. I got some. Got some stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to the hometown purple on this one. I think it's
We're in Los Angeles.
what the
Where are we, Dan? Who are you?
Okay, Rams fan.
What are we even doing?
The Rams are definitely a tough draw for sure.
Yeah.
Between them and the Eagles, I think they're
The
two-
last team you wanted to play.
you know, like I'd almost rather play the Eagles just because they're unfamiliar. You know, just because we haven't played them and they haven't played us. It'll be really interesting. I think the difference maker, I think our receivers are gonna do a little bit better against them. Even though it was 14-14 at half. That second half, kind of, we didn't really execute it as well. I think we might have had a turnover or two that really kind of flipped the game of that one. But Jared Verse versus Cam Robinson, I think that's that matchup that we're really going to look at to see. I think
Great call.
That's a deep
Because
cut.
Cam was
That's a
not,
deep cut.
Cam was not that great last
he was
week.
not. And that week, too, like that was probably in the second half that it really affected Sam was the pressure, especially up the middle, too. And then
And
Jared.
this is the team we lost Darisaw to.
Exactly. So
they
like,
took advantage of it immediately.
yeah. So like, I think that's the thing. I think Aaron Jones playing at least 3 quarters. I don't know what he's going. He came out of the
He's just
locker room
not
late.
right. Something's not.
Something's
He's not
a little
100.
goofy,
He's not
you know.
100.
So yeah, but I just think they just got enough. I think Blake Cashman is back. He didn't play against the Rams the first time through. So I you know,
a big difference.
you know,
actually,
so I think there's a couple little things here. Plus, also losing is a little advantage on the other side. You see what they did to you to stop you.
Don't even
You know, so I'm
look
going
at him.
straight purple.
He dug his grave. He's gonna
Yeah.
Does he want to change your?
No, he doesn't.
Can he change?
But
For the
Blake
sake of the
Cashman
Vikings, yes.
being on our defense, as far as the communication and everybody being on the same page, that's huge.
And Blake Cornum going down is also another little tidbit. A lot of people are thinking for a spell back for Williams on the other side
It
too.
is
You know?
interesting.
Who do they have? Is it
There's
Vitale?
these
Oh,
little
it's Ronnie
tidbits
Rivers.
that I see that there's adding to the Vikings' advantage in this game.
Yeah.
Skull.
Well, general consensus: Vikings getting the dub in LA and starting their trek towards the Super Bowl. Kev, right before we dip out here, do you want to throw up our final standings for us?
Look at that guy.
No, that's. We'll get to that. Hopefully not.
Did he make the screen in the live YouTube?
It's gonna be. It'll say week that one right there. Yeah.
For you Spotify people, we got a high school picture of our co-host, our host over here.
We don't.
Back in 2012, 13?
Well, the year doesn't
When you were
matter, but he
coaching
looks
me of all
young.
Yes, back when I was coaching you when you were
So what does that make you?
really old.
No, it's okay.
Wise, come on.
Yeah, really wise. Yeah, really wise. Oh my gosh. So I did not get the picks out last week. So this will say week 17 because I am a clown and didn't get last week's out. So that is the final regular season week results right there. If you look on the right side, the BWTB, that's Banter with the Boys, leaderboard, Rachel is leading the boys. She has won the regular season with a 743 win percentage at 26-9.
Wow. So it's going to be
Rachel.
changed to Banter with Rachel.
Banter with Rachel next season. Yeah.
And the boys.
Yeah, Banter with Rachel.
Rachel and the
Rachel
boys?
and the boys. Yeah.
Picks by Rachel.
Yeah. Cody bringing up second place for us, then followed by Jake. Dan and Trey tied for fourth.
Yes.
Then our Packer fan Tyler, our Lions fan, and our other Packer fan D'Angelo and Ben tied for seventh. Matt coming in at ninth. Rob with a 624 at 10th.
Top 10.
Yes, yeah. You're standing on that. Graham coming in with a 620. Dom with a 600, and we should probably start relegation for our host because Smeltzy coming in with a 588 over 500. Mind you,
Yep.
in last place. So
You win
Dom,
more than you lose.
So Dom, I know you're on a forklift right now. There you go, buddy. You're not last place. That's hey.
Boy, Dom.
There you go, Dom. Anyway, so that's the leaderboard. Congratulations, Rachel. We'll have to come up with something cool. I don't know. I didn't get that far ahead. You know.
A trophy?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking though. A little trophy, we'll make it up. Banner with the boys and Rachel. But Rachel getting the dub.
Excellent work, Rachel.
But fellas, that's the end of the show.
Wow.
That's
End of the year, end of the regular season.
end of the regular season. The playoffs are finally here, and they're shaping up. I know some of these games seem like they might be nothing, but I think we got a lot of good matchups coming our way. Ooh, man. Vikes scolded the bull, right?
Score to the bowl, baby.
Can I just add one thing? Remember at the beginning when I said that Sam Darnold was going to be a top 10 quarterback?
You did.
You said that. You stood on
What did the official...
Actually, he's been standing on that since March.
Since March. There's this
So-
timestamp to it. What's he at?
Oh, he's up there.
I guess what's the definition
Fifth
of
in yards, fifth in touchdowns.
rating? Would you go
top 10.
rating this time?
He was fifth in rating heading into the
right.
So
Detroit
it's,
game,
it's
too.
definitely top 10.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
No, he was
Just like
fifth
me and my
across the
picking.
board, yeah.
So I just had to put that out there that
And
I'm
he made
still
the Pro
right.
Bowl, so you could argue he's top 6.
I'm still right.
Heck yeah.
True. Fair enough. Yeah, that's true. You did call that.
Thank you.
Good point.
Just I want credit where it's deserved.
Well, then I'll get my credit for calling the Bucs over Atlanta to win the division because you were wrong.
I was, well, the Falcons were wrong for starting Michael Penix.
Whoa, he actually looked decent. I think Kirk
Yeah,
Cousins
they
will
still
watch,
lost
but
2 of the last
they're
3
gonna
games.
release
but-
his. Yeah. But anyway, Dan, thanks for being here, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. This is absolutely
I'm glad
awesome.
I was able to get you and Matt on at the same time since all three of us literally coach together.
Right.
So,
and I see him every single day. So it's like, dude, podcast tonight.
There we go. Obviously, I didn't say thank you for being here, but thanks for being here, Matt.
Yeah, dude, thanks for having me again. I missed y'all. It was a lot of fun early on in the season when we all had high hopes for everything, and it turned out pretty sweet so far.
Better than we probably thought.
And I'm glad to finish out the regular season with y'all. It was great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Playoff football, baby.
Yeah, buddy.
Yes, sir. Yes,
and
sir.
another win.
Rob, as always, here. Oh, yeah.
You guys high-fived earlier in the hall. We might as well do it here.
We might as well do it here on camera, so it's
so it actually
legit.
happened.
You know,
receipts
documented. Yeah, we kept the receipts, buddy. Anyway, with that, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, whether it's YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to the banter, and we'll see you next week after this divisional playoff. This wild card playoff round.
Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe. Tune in next time for more Banter with the Boys.